05. Did everybody get a chance to look at the minutes from May?
Yes. Very well done.
Good job, Dan.
Close the door when you leave.
I'm gonna be fixing that up. Liza is my editor, otherwise it would be so bad.
That good news?
It's always good.
Does anybody have any corrections? You want to take a minute to look at them again?
Looking real quick because I
Hopefully we spelled your name right, Melissa.
forgot.
Like repeatedly over and over again, we kept screwing that up.
Yes.
I think it was like once it was wrong one place, it was like,
I
Yeah.
know, but then it's like, I probably added it to my speller, you know.
oh, I know, I've had that problem. I like misspelled especially once wrong and but like added it to my spell check and I can't un-add it. It's wrong over and over again.
Oh,
That's a good excuse.
Not that just that I can't spell it, because that's also true.
This is a weird small thing, but it says, Melissa said that the poster should be is the window to tie the exhibit tag day. I think it's just in.
Mm. Got it.
I have one thing about the national park one. I probably said that the leases range from 27 to 37. Those were just some of the examples of ones. I don't know if that's actually like the bottom limit and the upper limit of what the monthly rents are in their houses. So I probably misspoke. So
We could say the example range.
yeah,
Or some are renting.
some are between 2,700 and 3,700.
Got it.
There's one other spot that says Melissa will talk to the light plant about the banner. She filled out the application last. It says you, but it's a year.
Yes. Yep. Got it.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
I move to accept the minutes as amended.
yes.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yes.
All right, minutes approved as amended. We'll fix them. That's amended. Thanks, guys. And Dan did send me April too. There was a formatting thing that was weird and I didn't get it done in time. So
Oh, well, I did it last minute, sorry.
Oh, no, it's not your fault. I would think something was just being weird about the file. So I didn't send it around. So next time we'll get that one. News about Concord Farms and Farmers. How's everybody's drought going?
I think we
Very,
need to
very
fix
well,
it.
very dry.
Everything's broken. Everything's broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny how the irrigation equipment only breaks when you go to use it. If you're not using it, it works fine.
It's fine.
It's like, you're like, oh yeah, I got a pump.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it works.
Yeah.
I know 3 months ago, at least, Frank Sullivan told me that he could probably start my well next week, and I haven't been able to get through to him since.
Oh geez. We have a similar situation with him. We actually had to hook up our old pump and segregate a portion of our irrigation system and put it on the old system just because we couldn't get it to work the way it's supposed to work.
Huh.
A disappointment.
I called Skilling up in New Hampshire today just to see how they were. And the fellow said I'd be lying to you if I told you I could get to you before the end of October.
Wow.
Oh,
You're kidding.
Oh,
Oh my,
You gotta figure your own self, figure it out your own self.
yeah.
What's happening, Steve?
I'm trying to get a well drilled down on Bigelow's land there. So we have water for the cows in the field.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's water there now, I know. Not much, but there is water.
Well, we've been having to haul it most of the summer to the cows down there the last couple of years
Where are you getting the water for the corn?
from the river,
What's that?
from the river.
Oh, okay.
That's a long ways away from there.
Yeah, that's quite a hike. Wow.
But I prefer this year to last year,
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
TBD.
Yeah.
Well.
Let's not
up
get ahead of
until this
ourselves.
point,
Yeah. Our crops so far are great. It's just the actual like growing the rest of the things that's,
yeah.
It's
just
a
the future.
very easy year for weed control.
Depends, if you're irrigating heavily, the weeds grow, they love that stuff.
yeah.
It's a good year because we have like these fields that like lie really low. And so we have like acres of corn that are not wilting because they're down in this low spot that normally we can't even, get in there. But once you can get in there, you like throw stuff in there, and assuming it doesn't rain 7 inches during the latter part of July, we should be okay, I think.
Don't jinx us.
Now, are you having to irrigate those low-lying areas at all, or?
There's some that we haven't. So yeah, mostly we're getting around to it when we can, but there's like this big line. There's like a big queue of crops. I like picture them at night when I'm sleeping, and they're just lining up. Like, I need water, and then
Yeah.
well, I need water. I also need water. You can't get them all at the same time, so you have to figure out. All right, what's your favorite crop?
Right.
Like the guy who works for me, he really cares about the corn because he picks all the corn. So he wants to irrigate the corn, and I'm like, well, this other stuff probably needs something too. It's like, but that's what's fun about it, really, actually.
Right.
Like people lobby for their own pet projects.
Right.
Well, we're about to sign a contract with a builder to start a new housing,
Hmm.
going through all the permitting stuff, and it's a long process there.
I bet.
Is it in Sudbury, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right across from all the apartments here on 117.
Oh,
in
yeah.
a nice field.
So because it's the housing is associated with migrant workers, you have to go through additional layers of regulation. I mean, is it even federal or is it just state?
Well, no, I mean, the things, we want to build like a duplex, and they're not allowed in Sudbury,
Oh,
but there are special exemptions for agricultural housing, so we can get it in under that, I think, but then you can't do anything but agricultural housing with it, but
right.
that's what we're shooting for.
Hmm.
And I'm in hopes that should have some bearing on what the assessment will be.
Yeah.
yeah. Boy,
But you're having to give up a field for that?
Yeah,
It's no fun.
Anybody else got any fun news? Less fun news? So we move forward.
oh, and I'm curious how people are adjusting prices this year with the increase in growing costs. I know we did a 8% across the board thing for payroll over the last year. And we all know what fertilizer and other things have done. We're
For
trying to
gas,
figure-
John,
Pardon?
for 5 gallon cans of gas, it's like close to $100. It's like. We had a bear on our property. I don't know how it got in or around the electric wire and how it left, but there was like, so I sent pictures to a few people that are, got very excited and definitely bear and like, not to
They
get.
probably wouldn't have a problem with electric fence unless they put the nose on it.
Yeah.
Pretty well
Yeah,
insulated.
I think they probably just walked under it or through it
Yeah.
at one point, but
Was he eating? Like, did he do damage?
no, I don't think so. If anything, I hope he scares the deer off a little bit. Oh, and there's a little, there was an otter in our pond. I don't know how it got in that.
Otter, wow,
Yeah, I don't even know how it got there.
that's cool.
We've had the deer eating the summer squash for the first time this year.
Really?
Ours are trimming our tomatoes a little bit, like not the fruit, but just the foliage. And the
I wouldn't
coyotes,
think that would taste good.
no, I wouldn't either, but their footprints. And
Last-
the coyotes are playing, like, I think it's coyote pups, and they're playing with like the green tomato fruit, and they just pull it off the vines and then throw it around, and it's all chewed up on the ground.
Wow.
But the real damage they do is the watermelons are just destroyed. I mean,
Really?
oh my God, it's like,
A few years ago, we had a lot of trouble with the crows picking the small green tomatoes, but
Oh, yeah.
I had that
they
too.
haven't been doing that lately.
Yeah, one really dry year, I couldn't understand what all these weird indentations in the fruit. Well, and it was the crows. They were like eating into the. I think.
Well, a lot of them, they'd pick them up and start to fly off and drop them and just be scattered around.
It's like animal fads, like diet fads.
Now,
Must be.
last year we had deer ate all of the zucchini, but like we had like in a couple rows where a random summer squash got in there, wouldn't touch it.
That's hilarious. Because I always tell people it's the same thing. Oh my God, it's the same thing.
That's
This
pretty
is all
funny.
summer squash, okay? Give me a
They're
break.
just like the customers, like the yellow ones.
I think I like those. I've heard good things about zucchini, but
You're funny.
does everybody have downy mildew? I do.
Yeah,
Basil.
I do.
Have
No.
what?
Nobody has it?
No,
I haven't seen a big problem yet.
on my squash, I have.
No, I mean basil. Basil downy mildew. Like,
Oh, sorry.
where it
Not yet.
destroys.
Not so far, but
No, we have all our Genovese has it.
We
You
mostly
use
grow
some of
those,
the resistant
types.
varieties or no?
For my first planting, I grow only Genovese. And then for my second planting, I grow some Genovese and then some Devotion and Prospera. And I do 2 more plantings that's just Devotion and Prospera. But last year, the Devotion kicked at the same time as the Genovese did, but the Prospera lasted quite a while. This year, we haven't seen it on either one of the downy mildew resistant basils, but the Genovese definitely has it. But I do think the Genovese is better. You know,
yeah.
I feel like I'm pulling a bait and switch or some sort of subterfuge on my customers. And I'm like, oh yes, that's basil. Of course it is. It looks like basil.
Whichever
Oh,
one
cool.
doesn't have mildew is the best one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Yeah, for sure.
For years, we didn't have any after July 1st.
Are everyone's tomatoes looking good?
So far,
So far, yeah.
Ours are a little small, but they look good.
green.
Very green.
We have high tunnel tomatoes that have started ripening, which is fun.
They started to, or they're ripe?
They're ripe.
They're right.
Well, not all of them. That's why I said
No,
starting
no.
to. Like, it's not crazy big harvest yet, but
We had probably the best pea year that we ever had, I would think.
Really?
And the beans are just amazing. Like, there's no leaf hopper.
They're all on our farm.
Really?
No.
We have like almost none. Like normally the beans come up and they turn yellow instantly. And I'm trying to go out there and spray stuff that doesn't really work. This year I haven't sprayed at all and they look fine. So I'm psyched. And so are the workers.
Yeah.
They love beans.
It's their favorite thing to do. Cat.
They love them better than peas.
They do.
How is the leaf miner? I noticed it in Nebraska's this year. I didn't really notice it in the past in Nebraska's. But
I've never had it be a problem in Nebraska's. I've had it be a real problem in chard, spinach, and
right.
beets. But this year, it was like most years, there's like a little early wave that makes you scared, and then they just have since appeared to have gone away.
So back to Steve's original question, did everybody have to raise prices a little bit this year?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hello.
So are you going by a set percentage on vegetables and Steve? As far as, are you raising them by a set amount or?
Well, we're looking at 10% plus or minus.
Uh-huh.
More minuses than pluses, I guess, but somewhere in there.
Crazy.
Some of our stuff was already so expensive, it was hard to raise the price, but
Yeah.
I think we do crop by crop, really.
Right. That's what we've been doing. The ones we have room for.
You probably have an advantage of Barrett's Mill because you don't have to raise wages.
because we're the prison farm.
Archman.
No, the two of you.
Oh,
I've seen workers there. They pay people.
yeah.
If they didn't, they wouldn't be here.
We used to do minimum wage, but this year we just did 15 as sort of a base for people that didn't have, experience or were, I don't know.
Minimum wage ain't what it used to be,
No.
which was $7.50.
Yeah, God.
Well, do you guys mind if we move on to topic number 3? Everybody, okay, we're doing it. So I think I wasn't sure if Laura from Mothers Out Front was going to come or not, but it looks like she's not here. But she was they did the that pumpkin smash after Halloween last year. They talked to us about getting involved in that, and we didn't, nobody had a really available compost pile. Plus there was some additional issues around like potential disease spreading about bringing in a bunch of pumpkins we didn't know the origin of. But they ended up last year going to Codman and feeding them all to the pigs. And it was like wildly successful. So that's great. They probably are going to do it there again this year. They didn't really advertise it too much last year and they still had a very large turnout. So they potentially were interested in partnering either for advertising, or they would love to get a Concord farm that has pigs. I don't know of any Concord farm that has pigs. Does anybody? Yeah, I didn't think so. So I think they wanted to play up the Concord connection, I think, but I don't think I think the Codman solution with pigs is probably the best one. Does anybody else have any input into that for them, or?
The only one would be Saltbox, right? But they might have just a couple. I don't know.
I know they have sheep. I don't even know if they have pigs.
Yeah.
I mean, would they want some advertisement? I mean, you know, we sell a lot of pumpkins. I mean,
Yeah,
have some kind of flyer or something like, you know, at the end of the season, this is what you can do with your pumpkin,
yeah, I think they might be.
Shredding your Christmas tree or something.
right?
Yeah, no, I think they might be very interested in that and having like the Concord ag community sort of encourage that kind of, either home composting or take it to this great event and feed the pigs. So yeah, I think they would be interested in that too. And the last time I spoke to the town about the town composting program, they were not super interested in having us advertise it at this point because they were feeling a little overwhelmed by the amount of signups they'd already had. So that potentially could also be something that in the future we might want to get involved with. But right now it seemed like they were pretty at capacity and didn't really need any help.
Well, we have a big compost pile. We could add them to it if we found an efficient way to do it.
I mean, is that something that you might be interested in, Steve? Like it potentially could be a lot of
And they could be, I mean, there could be a potential for introducing Phytophthora.
You think that's a risk?
So I don't know.
I think it depends on the year, probably how much of a risk it is, but yes.
I don't know how much compost temperature would take to affect that. I
Yeah,
guess
I
that's
don't know either.
something,
It's
take
just-
some research.
It's just a possibility, so it's like,
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that, but it's worth,
Well, we can think, we have plenty of time, so I think they are, this year, they probably are gonna do Codman again if they can figure out the logistics again, but we can keep talking to them about it, because I think they are interested in partnering with us in some capacity.
So do they have catapults and stuff?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
That would make it fun.
Right.
You could try to hit the compost pile.
Do you want to build one? We could we could offer that.
We have had the Boy Scouts, I'm not sure from what town, come at the end of the season and ask for like a whole bunch of squash, pumpkins, anything, potatoes, because they've got this whole catapult thing set up. And I cannot remember what town they're from, but that's what they do. They've got a whole bunch of Boy Scouts with this catapult and they just see who can launch it the furthest.
That's hilarious.
Great.
Where are they launching it?
I don't remember. I don't remember at all. It's been since COVID and they haven't come back. I don't know if they'll come back again, but I've got to get more information. It sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Great. If you find out, let me know. I could pass it on to the Laura at Mothers Out Front. She might be interested in doing something with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's great.
I would actually like to go myself and do that.
Yeah. Well, cool. So that was the Mothers Out Front update. Number 4 is quick Concord Farms video update. I know Tori and Dan have scheduled a filming
At Monday
Monday.
at 10.
Great. So that's where we are with that.
Has anyone out, was there someone for July?
Yeah, Ricky Marshall, I think, was potentially going to do it, but he's pretty busy too. So I sent him an email and Tori an email, but I haven't heard back from him. So I will bump him again. But he was next on the list.
Okay.
And then I guess we're on to Ag Day. Let me just remind myself what I'm doing here.
I have filled out our light plant application, but technically you're supposed to send it to the building department before the light plant. This is all to say, I'm still not sure what's going on. We're still reserved for the week we want for the banner, but I haven't heard from Chris Carmody when I sent it to him, wondering if he wanted me, if we needed to get their approval before I sent it to the building department or which way around. I should probably resend it. I did send it on the 4th of July. I realized when I looked back, it probably wasn't working.
I
So
think
anyway.
we're also still waiting for Chris from like the official word of is the light plant waiving the fee and
Well, that was kind of tied in it where I was like sending the application, be like, I don't think we've heard back about payment, so I didn't want to send this like straight to the building department without approval.
Yeah.
On the
I think Chris owes us some follow-up though on that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I think I sent all the invitations out to the nonprofits already, and I have heard back from the vast majority of them already, which made me a little nervous because we don't have room technically for all of them.
Did you have the pollinator committee on your list?
Yes, they did. I heard from her. Yeah.
Did I ask about the Concord Housing Foundation too?
I sent you one today
Okay.
because you weren't on my original list, and I'm sorry. I guess I used last year's list first. So I believe I sent you the form today.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I did a little count, and last year we had space for 14 nonprofits, and I think I've already basically gotten 13 yeses. Whether or not those actually materialize into yes as we get closer is still a little up for debate, because I think that happened last year too, where we had like 16 yeses, but then 4 of them disappeared at the last minute. So I'm assuming something similar might happen.
Would you cut it off at 14 or?
I think I could fit a few people if we do some like wiggling, and it also depends on how much space each of the farms takes up. Because I know it depends, like if Ricky Marshall wants 2 or if he just wants 1, that'll affect how much space we need. But I did put in the thing that goes out to everybody is like, you're not guaranteed a space, even if you send it back in. It's like a little bit first come, first serve, a little bit like, have you done it before?
Right.
We have some discretion, which I think helps. I think Happy was going to send out the invite to all the farms. I don't know. I haven't gotten it from her yet, but I do know she updated the form.
I thought she was on here a little bit.
She was on here, but I don't know where she went. I can email her though.
Okay. I don't have any kind of volunteer update. I keep meaning to, I don't know if she's there over the summer, but Minuteman, it seemed like the kind of thing that that she definitely had people interested in, that we could probably line it up right before in terms of who would actually show up at what time.
My only volunteer update is I did make my brother participate, so he'll be there.
Nice.
And then I did also Vanderhoof Hardware. I ordered all the dowels, and they very nicely cut them for all of us, so they're ready.
Oh,
I have all the wheels, so that's ready. I think a bit of it, the question is expense wise. I'm just keeping track of how much I'm spending. And we will either, I'm somewhat hoping that maybe, why am I blanking? Stone Soup will maybe cover some of this as promotion. But if not, we can also figure out other ways to cover it. Basically where we are with that. I also got what we have in our account with the town is about $460. Last year we spent about $760 on printing, the posters and flyers and stuff like that. So that also may, I mean, I know Happy was looking into if we could get them not on the foam, not on the core plastic core board, if it was cheaper to do them just under like the laminated stuff. So maybe we just need to follow up with her and see where she is on budget.
Yeah, do you want me to I could like send an email to Chip about Stone Soup and use that quote of what it cost last year. Say like we're working on a budget for this year, but like would that be like in the range of what they would do? Because the thing I was thinking was, could we use the like the farm registration money for the supplies and then just ask Stone Soup for the full promotion, like all the posters and stuff, because I feel like that's like directly their mission is the posters and things, and they
Yeah.
like keep saying that they'd be happy to help with that. So like if we could cover the supplies more with the farm stuff, then
I mean, we definitely can. I have not spent $400.
yeah, because I think that what Chip did last time was like the printer, he just had the printer send the bill to him.
Yep.
So it could be like a blanket if we get a good estimate. That's like, I think easier for them because it's also very like distinct. I don't know if they want like a lot of little receipts to deal with.
Yeah, I think they'd be happy to cover anything related to promotion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Is there likely to be a Stone Soup supper this year?
No, I think they already said not this year.
No. So do they have a means of support, or are they just, every donation is spending down what they have in the bank?
I think they have a. well,
They have a pretty good balance.
They have a pretty good balance.
They're concerned that the restaurants aren't in very good shape to be anxious to donate time and people when
Right. Yeah.
nobody has enough people to keep the places going.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if Stone Soup itself is remaining liquid without having a.
Yeah,
sponsor.
yeah.
And I think promotion materials was mainly, I think Happy was working on sort of figuring out maybe a poster and stuff like that. So maybe Melissa and I will follow up with her after this meeting and see what's going on with that. Sound good? I mean, I think the plan is just, aside from cost and like how the posters are, the plan is to do the same thing, right?
Basically, right?
Okay.
They have been good posters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a shame to see them go.
We could assume that the prices are gonna be, some percentage above last year, right?
Right.
I think so, yes. I mean, I think that's why Happy was potentially looking into not doing the, what is it called? The
Mhm.
like rigid, ones, and instead,
Foam board,
instead getting the, just like laminated ones. And if that was that much cheaper, can we use zip ties or whatever to just make them work? Which we probably can. Is there anything else we need to talk about Ag Day? I think we're in pretty good shape. We missing anything?
Yeah, I think if we could get the forms from Happy and get it out soon so that we also had the farms on.
Yep.
Mention the date, so it's in the minutes, so that when I have to figure out, when is Ag Day again?
Yeah, when is that day?
September 10th. It's already on the town calendar. It's also already on Concord Living's calendar. Oh, and there is the library is still potentially doing a small thing the same day, but they're still working on that logistics around that. We ready to move on?
And then like a couple weeks or what, sometime before the window at the Concord book.
Yeah, that's the end of August, I believe. It's in my calendar. And I think it was me and Happy who were supposed to go around and gather stuff from all you guys prior to that.
I could help do that too. If you need someone to go pick up, I'd be happy to do that.
That'd be great, Grace. Thank you.
Sure, because when you asked that question, the Bruins were playing and I was kind of checked out, so I would have volunteered that night. I totally missed it, but I will be happy to do that. I will be
That would be-
more than happy.
That would be lovely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll be in touch probably as we get closer, and maybe we'll give everybody a few days notice so you can gather some things.
You can do that.
Might look good.
Absolutely.
Moving on, Article 37 letter update that I was supposed to write. So this is about the bag, the paper bag fee, I guess, in town. So the update was at the chair's breakfast last month. They mentioned that they had sent it to the state, but that I said, when do we expect to hear back and get it implemented? They said, don't hold your breath. So I think it's going to take a long time. I started to write it, and then I had a couple of sort of like legal questions that I have sent to a lawyer friend. So I'm still working on it. I think it's gonna be a little delayed. It doesn't sound like we're in a super hurry though. So that's the update there. Does anybody have any other thoughts on that? Okay. Sounds good. Moving on to other business. I had a few things. Let's see. Lise, you brought up the 250th anniversary executive committee for the Battle of Concord. Is that what it is?
You're muted.
Oh, Lisa.
Yeah.
Yes. So you got asked to be on this.
Something like that. I wasn't sure. Yeah, it's executive. Yeah.
Yeah. But it sounds like I actually think Henry sent out an email to everybody.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's on that committee. So I think it's. I
So
don't
we're
know.
covered.
So it sounds like they would like someone from the farming community to be on this committee. If
Yeah.
anybody has any interest.
I think they're more interested in seeing if we want to do something as a group to either do a garden or float or something.
We could build a catapult and catapult pumpkins.
Yeah, very period weaponry.
Yes.
Can we?
But didn't they ask
Yeah,
you,
potato
Lisa,
garden.
for somebody who would be on?
Yeah, they were hoping to have someone from the ag community on the committee. But yes, also they wanted us to do something like a float or like, an expanded ag day. Yeah.
My reaction reading your email was like, I don't want to go to expanded ag day.
Oh, trust me, I had to contain myself when I saw that part. I was like, no.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did suggest also though, like for the colonial garden type thing, like to contact the Concord Garden Club. Because I feel like that could be a good source of volunteers for like maintaining a colonial garden, and probably certainly like, if they wanted to do it behind the house across from us, like we could probably like till a space for them, but like we couldn't. And I'm sure most of us couldn't probably take on maintaining or planting a garden, but
Concord Green Thumbs might be interested in that. I know they have
Yeah.
a lot of volunteers around town. That might be, they may be able to do that too.
yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, if anybody has any strong desire to be on this committee, you should join. I guess.
I mean, it might be like, if anyone is interested in it, I think it could be good to have someone who like has knowledge, who can advocate for us not having to do much. Who can make the argument that we're pretty busy.
That's, yeah.
So
I mean, it sounds like the
maybe
plan-
they join- Sorry.
sorry, I said the planning for this is like, it's in like 2024/2025. is what
Yeah.
they're planning
Yeah.
for. So this is like just the beginning of planning for this.
Yes.
So it sounds like mainly it's brainstorming and stuff, which is also a great place to interject that we can't commit too much. So don't get
We're
excited.
just trying to keep our pumps running and
Right.
our
Right.
schools alive.
You're
I
cool.
really can't think that far ahead in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a little tricky.
2 weeks, 2 weeks.
Or that far in the past.
So
Right. Exactly.
But-
What is a colonial garden? I don't know.
Yeah, but just
So join the committee and then don't say you're too busy to attend.
You gotta show up coated in mud.
I mean,
We'll have to ask Jaleos about a colonial garden.
We could do a float. That would be easy.
yeah, that would be cute.
You know, pumpkins and
Yeah.
Indian corn and all that
they-
crap.
but they'd have to provide the structure.
No, we have wagons. Are you kidding?
A hay cart
Like built.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
hay wagons,
question,
and a tractor.
We don't.
if this will be
tractor.
the
Oh my
19th,
God. We have all.
it changes a little bit if it's the 19th of April.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's right.
Oh,
There were no colonial gardens at the Battle of Concord because they hadn't planted them yet.
Yeah.
They were still like eating last year's potatoes and
Right.
pumpkins that were disgusting at that point.
So I
that's what this is June 11th.
no, I don't know when I don't know when any of the events around this are, or if it's like year-long celebrations. So there may be many events around this.
I think it starts in 2024.
Yeah.
And then yeah.
Well, I guess that, yeah, okay. If anybody has any interest in this, please speak up. But it probably is a good idea if somebody's sort of keeping a tab on what they're doing. And I don't know how to do that and not be on the committee, but maybe we'll work on that.
We'll send Joe as a spy.
Yes.
It meets the minutes.
Well, it sounds pretty revolutionary.
Yeah. Well, we could maybe talk about that next time more if anybody just wants to mull that over.
Joe.
Joe would
Oh,
like
if you want to mull that over.
maybe we can convince Emily that she needs to do it. She's not here, so I'm offering up her name. And then I think the one other piece of business I had was the town clerk's office. Both Grace and Steve, you still need to do your online ethics training.
I know.
Okay, that's all.
Get that done. Get that done.
I was told to remind you.
I looked at it the other day.
I did that for quite a number of months.
What did you say, Steve?
I said I looked at it the other day.
Oh, yeah.
There are just so many temptations for corruption on the ag committee.
And it's like been a couple of years. I mean,
We have so much power, you know. Does anybody have any other business that we need to talk about? No. Oh, is Happy back on?
Yes.
Hi, Happy.
I had a poultry emergency.
Oh no. Well, Melissa and I were gonna follow up with you later about some stuff. We don't have to talk about it now, I guess. That's all. Is anybody else? Public comment? No public comment. Hi, Lois.
Yeah, I'm just saying hi.
Hi.
Hi from the. I had a laugh. I got my.
You could give you some study tips.
Is there an audio version?
Like
Yeah,
good- with a good reader?
177 pages.
You're gonna know it all backwards and forwards by the end. Don't worry.
That's for my pollinator
Yeah.
with Steve there.
So are you officially on the committee?
Well, I took my oath and all that stuff, so I'm official.
Great.
I guess what your official kind of, but there's a little bit of whatever until you finish reading all of that and sign some more paperwork.
Can you give us any hints on the ethics test?
Yeah. Which way?
I do solemnly swear.
The ethics test is very easy. It's very, very easy.
There are questions during it that I wasn't aware of, so you can't just scroll to the end.
No, you can't.
Oh,
I was a little surprised, so you got to go back and do it again.
All good.
I think this is different than the one I took years ago.
I think it's the same. It's the state mandated one.
I thought it was all like written. Maybe not.
Maybe it was then. I don't know. It's online.
Back in the dark ages.
I was gonna say, Brian, how old?
7 years ago.
All right. Next meeting is August 11th. Is that what we're looking at?
Okay,
Yeah, so is that the only meeting before Ag Day? So we'll be very productive.
Well, technically, there would be a meeting on the 8th of September.
Oh,
It'd be right before Ag Day.
That's too soon though, right?
Hmm?
That's too soon before Ag Day to.
yeah.
Yeah, that's only like emergencies. That's not, yeah.
Right.
So we gotta do, yes. We got
Okay.
a lot of things we have to nail down before.
Yeah, and like even, so we won't have a meeting before we like get the posters printed. Or we could get them printed like right after that meeting,
Yes,
because we'd want to have them for like a month.
yes.
Yeah.
Actually, that'd probably be perfect timing. If we
Yeah,
got them,
okay.
if we looked at them and then got them immediately printed, because then we wouldn't want to start putting the posters out too soon, so.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. And then I think the bookshop window is after that too, so we can just,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bookshop window starts on the 22nd of August.
Right.
So that's probably pretty good timing.
so just not too much farmer news that night.
Yes. Everybody has to keep-
Okay.
So hopefully all pump problems and all cooler
Oh,
problems
it's
are
cool.
all
Remember, I can't wait. What time do you think he wakes up?
fixed.
I have a public comment. I don't think it's gonna rain.
It just did.
It did,
What?
it didn't rain.
It's not.
Yes, there was a
Not
sun
rain.
shower.
That's not rain.
Like a sprinkle.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
I got nothing in Maynard, guys. It's been, it's like sunny.
really? Wow.
Back to the meeting, if we're gonna go to in-person meetings, I'd be happy to host the next meeting in the tent.
That's actually a good idea.
That's a
So
good idea.
that was the other thing we were supposed to talk about. Technically, today was the last day you could have a Zoom meeting with the state because it's expiring.
Yeah.
They're hoping it will all get fixed very quickly because I guess there's 2 bills going through the House right now. But should we plan on an in-person meeting next time just to make sure that it happens, that we don't have to reschedule it?
Sure,
Yeah.
that would be the 11th.
That would be the 11th. And is it okay if we do it at Steve's? Everybody,
Yeah, in fact, I'd be happy to host a picnic ahead before the meeting starts for Concord farmers and the committee, if people like to do that.
That would be very nice.
wow.
Thank you.
we
Gee.
just can't talk about any ag committee news.
Right.
And you
Only, everybody has to just during the meeting.
pass notes.
No passing notes.
The
Very-
next meeting will start at 7. Okay.
I'm bursting.
August 11th at in Steve's tent.
Okay,
Great.
sounds good.
Yes.
Sound good, everybody?
Right.
If we figure people come between 5:30 and 6, the meeting start at 7.
Sounds good.
Great.
Okay,
I'll bring cucumbers. No, we won't even have any left.
Yeah, don't propose that.
I won't. No,
That's a month from now, you know.
I know. Never mind.
I'll bring onions.
The back of my fridge.
I guess I move to adjourn the meeting.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Sandra second it.
7:55.
Bye.
Right,
Is that it?
a quick
Yep.
meeting.
Bye.
1:59, okay.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I hope Frank calls you.